top ticker on our site, Praz, is Tesla. The stock really continues to be on fire.
Yeah, you know, Saz, we were here a few weeks ago, and the stock was hovering on $100, and now we're almost double that, right? And that main catalyst being that earnings call that we were all on. We did that show on. Elon talking about demand outstripping supply. Shares sort of surging since then. The Fed talking about the disinflation talk, also giving tech shares a lift. Tesla in tandem as well. And here we go. Look, almost 100%. $200 a share.
In this video, Tesla stock continues its run, now up 92% year to date. And it's only February. And yes, I will be roasting a couple of the dim Tesla short sellers who once again had their asses handed to them after doubling down on their bets against the company near 2-year lows. Clearly, with only two goals in mind, to incinerate their capital and their reputations. Mission accomplished. Plus, some new data shows Tesla's US Model Y inventory is zero. Stay tuned for imminent price increases. It's a good thing we managed to install someone on Tesla's board of directors to ensure Elon Musk no longer has or shares any thoughts and opinions about anything ever. Oh wait, that didn't actually happen, did it? Never mind. Miraculously, Tesla continues to sell vehicles despite Elon Musk continuing to have and share opinions. If only we'd been able to shut Elon Musk up. Instead of having 0 vehicles in inventory, maybe Tesla would have negative 69,000 vehicles. And the fake news gets exposed for lying about Tesla in 2021. Plus, a new Tesla research note from Morgan Stanley. And for those of you keeping score at home, we've now posted the 289th exclusive video over on Patreon. If you're not a member, definitely missing out. You can join with the card in the corner or the link at the pinned comment. Tesla stock bucking trends in the wider markets today, up 3%, closing over $207 per share. Year to date, you love to see it. Tesla stock now up almost $100 per share, up almost 92%. Tesla stock now more than double its 52-week low, yet would need to almost double to reach the 52-week high. The rest of 2023 is going to be rather interesting. Now, for today's episode of At Least You're Not This Guy, Mark Spiegel from Standstill Capital, aptly named, I'll give him that. From the 13th of January 2023, these Tesla price cuts have, in my opinion, completely de-risked the fundamental bear case. I actually just added significantly to our short position at $116.99. After previously intending to leave it in a run-down mode, as I think this confirms. Notice the all caps there. Another 90% downside for the stock. Shit, son. I mean, honestly. The irony, by the way, from the time this tweet was posted, Tesla stock's up about 90%, not down. Again, I mean, at the time, around $100 per share. I'm pointing out and mocking and ridiculing the Tesla short sellers who are literally doubling down, and here we are a month later. Let's just check the Tesla stock price chart to just see how much pain this poor, I was going to say man, but boy, child's probably more apt. Let's just see what's happened to this poor child since the 13th of January 2023. So $116.99 per share. Let's see. Oh, we can't actually get there. We're going to have to wind back just a little bit further. It's a higher starting price than he actually shorted the stock. So this won't quite represent the full extent of the third-degree financial burns this dolt has suffered, but it's the best we can do. We're within a couple of dollars. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. Tesla stock up about 75% since Mark Spiegel doubled down on his short position near 2-year lows. Remember, you can't fix stupid. I'm still hopeful that at some point, Mark's inner circle will stage an intervention and stop him from hurting himself financially and reputationally any further. And it wasn't just Mark. We also had another Tesla short seller who at least realized the risk involved in doing this, had a cocktail of Tesla puts, as in betting against Tesla via puts. Pray for my soul. Well, Brad, I at least appreciate that this guy can take the piss out of himself, knows he's playing with fire and now suffers third-degree burns and goes, well, I guess my prayers were not answered. Please note, ladies and gentlemen, $115 put, $129 put, $124, $110, $50 and $25. Rest in peace, Brad's soul. Hilariously, by the way, somebody remind me of this in 1 year. Our genius friend here. Lol, this is a bet for next Wednesday's earnings call. Remind yourself next Thursday. Well, I thought I would remind the entire interwebs. Brad, dude, just give up, man. It's never going to work out as much as you would like it to. Let us all pray to the flying spaghetti monster that Brad can see the light and stop vaporizing his capital and reputation. Seriously, dude, just give up.
Shares of Tesla are rallying today off their highs, but still up at a down market, adding to big gains on the year. The National Transportation Safety Board issuing a review of fatal 2021 crash, which had raised questions about Tesla's autopilot system. Phil LeBeau joins us now with the results of that. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Mike, I remember when this crash happened. It was in April of 2021, just outside of Houston. And the reason this got so much attention is because this was a Model S that had crashed at a high speed. And at the time, the police who responded at the scene said, look, there's nobody in the front seat. Immediately, people started thinking, well, were they trying to test out the autopilot system, et cetera? And that got the NTSB involved here. And today they ruled that the autopilot system was not the cause of the crash. In fact, it wasn't engaged at the time. There were other factors, including high speed, the condition of the driver.
You guys remember this, right? I remember this. I discussed this. To the best of my recollection, when news first broke, I believe it was a police officer who had attended the scene, began to speculate. No driver in the front of the vehicle, therefore it must have been on autopilot. Of course, at the time it was also clear there was an impact. The steering wheel seemed to suggest that a human had slammed into it. It was also not possible to engage autopilot on that type of a road. There were a million red flags. It was obvious from day one. This was driver error. Autopilot wasn't engaged. And just because a driver wasn't found in the wreckage in the front seat doesn't mean there wasn't a driver in the front seat of the vehicle when it crashed. Crazy idea, I know, but you understand, right? Things can move. But that was enough for the media to go absolutely fucking wild with this. Check out this headline from Russ Mitchell, one of the least competent quote-unquote journalists on planet Earth, who seriously has it in for Tesla. The headline, 2 die in driverless Tesla incident. This is a claim, a statement of fact. Driverless Tesla incident. See, it was driverless. Autopilot was engaged. The headline says driverless. There was no driver. It turns out there was, Russ, and we knew that from the get. Where are the regulators? To paraphrase Hall Mars, who shared this headline. Hey Russ, where are the competent journalists? Nowhere to be seen.
For NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy, the significance of this is she has long been critical of Tesla's marketing of its full self-driving technology. Keep in mind, this was not an investigation of Tesla's full self-driving technology, but a lot of people have said, look, does Jennifer Homendy have a problem with Tesla and its autopilot system? This investigation was just about this one crash, but it makes it very clear that in this case, when there was a lot of speculation, Mike, back at that time, that perhaps the drivers had engaged autopilot, nope, that was not the case here. So this clears one of those questions that had been out there, although I think for a long time people sat there and said, look, it doesn't strike me as being an autopilot accident. Now it's officially been cleared by the NTSB. Remember, Mike, NTSB simply reviews accidents, makes recommendations. NHTSA, which is the government agency that regulates technology in vehicles, that's a completely separate entity, and they are investigating Tesla's autopilot system in a number of incidents.
Yeah, and again, the marketing of that system, I guess, also into question. Phil, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Well, isn't this fascinating? Just went digging to try to find some of the original fake news media pieces lying about Tesla, claiming this was a driverless/autopilot crash when it wasn't. Keeping in mind, by the way, almost immediately after this crash occurred, Elon Musk confirmed that Tesla's data showed that autopilot was not engaged during this crash. The media ignored that, and well, it turns out that apparently the media is now trying to delete themselves being wrong. Note, report the broken link here. Well, you know what, New York Times, I would instead suggest that I report the broken quote-unquote journalist who spread this fake news. Oh, things are getting rather interesting. I've just had a look. If you don't recall, Conjob Distorts, I don't know, whatever, this corrupt organization that once used to not be corrupt and now has it in for Tesla, and that's got nothing to do with the connections to Ford and General Motors and Legacy Automotive, staffing the whole anyway, Conjob reports soon after this supposed driverless crash made a fucking DIY tutorial in how to defeat Tesla's driver monitoring system. Literally a step-by-step tutorial in how to do something that is not only illegal but dangerous on public roads, in the interest of helping consumers make informed decisions. Idiots. Absolute fucking idiots. I tore these morons apart at the time. I've gone looking for this article. Well, something seems a bit broken here. The ex-web developing nerd in me seems to wonder, is Conjob Reports attempting to make this article disappear as well? I'm a little bit confused as to why the page is not loading correctly. It could totally be a coincidence. This is the URL of the article I'm trying to load right now. consumerreports.org/autonomous driving/CR engineers show Tesla will drive with no one in driver's seat. Yet, when I try to load the page, we got some issues, like some serious issues, as in HTML, CSS not loading properly. Text is still here. Now, I'm not saying that they're trying to make this disappear. I'm just saying, isn't that interesting? We just saw a New York Times article that's no longer loading about this incident, and this is what's happening with Conjob Distorts. Let's try Google here and try and find the source through Google instead. Maybe it's a sketchy link. Let's see. Oh, wow, what do you know? Still f***ed. So the question is the entire Consumer Reports website broken, or are they trying to make this disappear, or is it a total coincidence? Let's find out. How about we just head to consumerreports.org, We'll go a few levels up here and let's see if we can find any evidence of other broken HTML on pages or if this is unique to this one particular article. Let's have a look here. Let's look at car ratings and reviews. Why not? Hybrids and EVs. Let's just try and click through to something else, anything else at all. Ratings and reliability. I mean, it seems like these are working. Let me just have a look here. Let's read one of their articles. Should you go hybrid or EV? Let's have a look. So loading fine. Clearly, CSS, HTML, everything's fine here. But that article in which these fucking morons gave a step-by-step tutorial to defeat Tesla's driver monitoring system and literally told consumers how to do something that is dangerous and illegal on public roads seems a bit broken. Isn't that fascinating? Obviously, just a couple of miraculous coincidences occurring right around the same time relating to the coverage of this supposed driverless crash, which at the time was debunked almost instantly and never made sense, but sure did make for some good headlines. The fact that conjob distorts is conning of consumers and distorting of reality and telling people how to do something illegal and dangerous on public roads. The fact that page is starting to break now, it's also a coincidence. So don't worry. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Would make way for Master Plan 3. Elon Musk announcing Tesla will hold its investor day on March 1st, teasing a, quote, path to a fully sustainable energy future for Earth. The announcement comes as 2 Tesla models were named the best-selling vehicles in California. The stock has been on a tear since the start of the year, up more than 63%. Steve, where are you on Tesla right now?
Got long today again. I feel like Al Pacino from The Godfather. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I feel like the stock hitting that $200 mark, if you can stabilize above $200, there's a real gap in technicals up to 230, 240 for me. I'm back in the name.
All right, so let's talk about this. We just heard back in the name. See, this is what happens when you think you're an investor. Well, maybe he doesn't think he's an investor. He acknowledges he's a trader. You see a stock crash to near 2-year lows. Makes no sense. Cheaper on a forward PE basis than Chipotle, Coke, and Pepsi. But you don't buy. Instead, you wait till it nearly doubles in the span of a month. And then you buy. Because the chart told me so. Or because the technicals told me so. Or because the momentum told me so. I just don't understand some people. I guess my brain's too small to understand why it makes sense to ignore the bargain of the century and wait till it doubles and then buy. I just don't get it. I'm just not very smart.
So you'll be back theoretically through the investor day or up to?
Well, yes, I think the way it stands right now, and this could always change from a trader, but I'd rather be there. And I've been using the analogy of rabbits coming out of a hat with him. He can pull a rabbit out of the hat whenever he wants. And this is another rabbit and another hat.
That is a fair point. Now onto Morgan Stanley's latest note regarding Tesla. More importantly, Tesla stock. Tesla over $200? Too much too soon? 5 key thoughts. Stock rating overweight. Industry view inline. Price target 220. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm going to say it because it's going to happen and I'm going to clip it. 220. What's the bet? That Morgan Stanley will soon be increasing the Tesla stock price target beyond $220 after Tesla stock exceeds $220 per share. And what's the bet? By the end of 2023, Morgan Stanley's 12-month price target will be considerably higher than it currently is. The clown show continues. This is new. Tesla stock now Morgan Stanley's top pick. Haven't seen that before. Tesla shares have nearly doubled from the January 3rd lows, taking the stock to just under our $220 price target. Will the rally continue, or could a hot CPI print bring the shares down to earth? 5 thoughts. Unusually high volume. Over the last 27 trading days, year to date, Tesla has traded an accumulated dollar value of $804 billion. By comparison, the trailing 27 days leading up to the end of calendar year 2022, Tesla shares traded an accumulated value of $525 billion. Good point, and I've noticed this myself. Tesla volume, as in the number of shares traded daily, has massively increased, and sustainably so. Almost every day in 2023 has been well above the 3-month average. There's a lot of activity happening. Sentiment. We recently noted a sharp decline in incoming call volume from clients on Tesla over the past week as the stock price has increased and they're no longer panicking. We've been asked more about names like LEA and I don't know what the they are, whatever, than Tesla over the past week. Highly unusual. We empathize with the resistance to chase a chart like that. Competitors. Year to date, as of close today, Tesla shares are up 68% versus US EV pure play peers Lucid, up 51%, with Rivian and Fisker up 5% and 1% respectively. We continue to believe Tesla will, short term, invest their margin into price lower, while longer term, we expect Tesla will invest their innovation into margin. The net result is that we see Tesla in a position to drive their per vehicle bill of materials cost significantly lower. They're right. Driving consolidation amongst competing EV players. If you can't read between the lines, Consolidation means they're dropping like flies. Bankrupt. A similar shakeout. I love their refusal to point out these companies are dying. There's shakeout. Another way of saying multiple bankruptcies. A similar shakeout occurred in the auto industry over a century ago. 4. Valuation. At just over $200, Tesla shares traded 30 times EV EBITDA in 2023 and 21 times 2025. When the shares neared the $100 level a few weeks ago, valuation had approached 10 times EBITDA. It just made no sense. And 20 times PE for 2025. Adding over $350 billion of market cap this year closed the valuation case window on Tesla even faster than it opened. Disagree. Vehemently disagree, in fact. I mean, sure, Tesla at 100 is a lot better than Tesla at 200, but bro, Tesla at 200 still, in my opinion, far and away the best risk-adjusted opportunity that I'm aware of in the stock market. You might have heard me say that before. It's because it's true. It was true then, it's true now. Still buying with every spare cent. Catalysts. Master Plan 3 to be unveiled on March 1st Investor Day. We're excited to see progress on the manufacturing side, including Gigapress, front and rear, 4680 battery pack, structural pack, and other innovations, including supply chain, upstream material sourcing, and mining. While anchored on March 1st, investors must also weigh risks around Fed sentiment, China commentary, and other idiosyncratic risks. Our message. While we reiterate our overweight rating on Tesla shares, we believe the window of opportunity on valuation has closed. I believe these clowns do not know what the f they are talking about, and later this year we'll have a price target approaching $400 per share, give or take. And that is a very high risk prediction. But I did just make it. Further upside from here will require a more substantial narrative change following the March 1st Investor Day. At the same time, we remain concerned about the ability of EV competitors, startups, and legacy players to withstand the cost and scale advantages Tesla enjoys as it continues to drive prices lower and share higher, a potential shakeout for the EV industry. Yeah, so again, Morgan Stanley accurately identifying the fact that EV startups and legacy automotive manufacturers should be shitting the bed. How do they compete with Tesla, who already have a huge pricing advantage, cost advantage, and scale advantage, and technology advantage, leadership advantage, engineering advantage? By the way, the answer to that question is they don't compete. Hence, once again, Morgan Stanley remain concerned, and they're rightly concerned. Year-to-date relative performance of US EV OEMs. We're looking at the stonk price and nothing else. Tesla up 68%. Lucid Motors 51%. Rivian 5 and Fisker 1. And we also have a chart here showing cumulative volume on Tesla from the 3rd of January to the 9th of February, and previously 22nd of November to 30th of December. Tesla shares, a lot of them exchanging hands. Should I say it? I'm going to say it. Those currently selling Tesla shares or who have been selling Tesla shares in 2023, demonstrating that even a potato can learn how to buy and or sell stocks. I'd just like to share a few closing observations. Over the last month or so, as Tesla stock plummeted to absurd levels, and I do mean absurd, I was kind of surprised. I had thought at some point the big brain institutional investors would step in and start buying the stonk. Well, it turns out that's true, but it turns out that that's not as true as I thought, and let me explain. I believe what happened toward end of year. There's a lot of tax loss harvesting, selling out of this, blah, blah, blah. Need a clean slate for 2023. There was so much selling pressure and activity on Tesla stock. And these big institutional investors didn't come in. Many of them needed to wait until 2023 to begin loading up on Tesla stock. So it went a lot lower than I thought it ever would. But those buyers have now come in, realizing it was the bargain of the f***ing century. Hence the elevated buying activity, the elevated daily volume on Tesla stock, and the stock continuing to climb higher and higher and higher. The biggest mistake I had in my thesis was that institutional money would step in as soon as Tesla's valuation made absolutely no sense, but no, that did not happen. Instead, it continued to go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. Thank f*** I do not own Tesla stock on margin. Yet at the same time, Tesla stock collapsed to absurdly low levels. Tesla's most ardent haters decided to double down on their bets against the company, despite all indicators that Tesla's valuation made no sense and would not remain there. Of course, the lesson here is pretty simple. You can't fix stupid. Just imagine doubling down on your bet against Tesla, with the stock down about 75% from recent highs. It was quite fascinating to see the fear-induced brain damage spread throughout the stonk market. It's not just the brain-dead Tesla short sellers who double down on their bets against the company. After all, most of these folks are mentally ill and literally deluded, so I'm not trying to pick on these people, I'm just observing. But there were many Tesla bulls, at least supposed Tesla bulls, who I didn't realize were mentally ill and or deluded, and maybe they weren't. But they acted like they were because they were overcome by fear, uncertainty, doubt, and panic. Watching these folks disintegrate like a wet paper bag was super embarrassing. I mean, it literally hurt to witness. Yet it happened. Many got swept up in the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Others continued to use their brain and remained steady, like a rock. If you happen to be one of the so-called investors who turned into a wet paper bag and started disintegrating, you've learned a lesson about yourself and your temperament. If you're swayed by the opinions of others, or so overcome by emotion that you abandon your own research and your own thesis, you've learned a lesson about your ability to invest, and it doesn't look good. And for those of you who continue to actually use their brain, congratulations. You might be cut out for investing after all. I hope one way or another you've all learned something, either about yourself or the psychology of many so-called investors. Now, you guys may have noticed that I happen to be extremely obnoxious when referring to the actions and the comments and the thoughts and opinions of people who I believe are either A, completely wrong, or B, making a catastrophic financial decision. The reason I do this is not to be a twat. The reason I do this is because I'm not really one for a subtle approach. Oh, hey bro, I'm not really sure if it's a great idea to be shorting Tesla stock when it's like 2-year lows and, it's 75% down and they're killing it. I don't know if that's not my style. My style is, you f***ing idiot. You have to have brain damage. And the reason I say this is so that the people who hear this go, oh, this guy, I don't have brain damage. I'm going to prove I don't have brain damage. Let me prove it. And then in their attempts to prove that they don't have brain damage, they discover that they in fact do have brain damage. It may not be to everybody's taste, but I'm not here to make friends. I'm just trying to help. Now, admittedly, I do have an unfair advantage. What might that be, you ask? Well, my brain, it works. It's not very big, but it works consistently, not occasionally. And I'm not going to oversell it and say the reason my brain works is because I take Athletic Greens AG1 every morning, and have been for the last nearly 2 years. But I have been, and my brain has been working. I'd be fascinated to know how many people who panic sold Tesla stock near 2-year lows and how many people who doubled down on their shorts. I just can't. Oh, man. Like I said, you just can't fix stupid. But I really would like to know how many of those folks have been taking Athletic Green daily. My guess would probably be 0. I could be wrong though. I guess we'll never know. But I'm all about giving myself every possible advantage, an informational advantage, a strategic advantage, whatever it is. I'd like to get an edge over others investing in stocks. This is why I try and get enough sleep. This is why I look after my health. This is why I eat the right things, move enough, lift heavy things. I'm all about feeling, functioning, thinking, and performing my best. Now, I really am trying to help you guys and girls. Athletic Greens AG1 is one of the biggest hacks in my toolkit for feeling and performing my best. I swear by this stuff. I take it every day in the morning. And if you'd like to unlock an offer and get 1 free year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs, head to athleticgreens.com/SMR or check the link in the description. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee, so unlike shorting Tesla stock, if you don't get the results you want, no harm done. Athletic Greens AG1 is a great way to fill in your nutritional gaps. A single serving every day, it's absolutely jam-packed with multivitamins, minerals, probiotics, adaptogens, and loads more, including 75 individual vitamins and minerals, prebiotics and probiotics, plus plant-based enzymes to help with digestion and promote gut health, supports immunity, meaningfully boosts energy, and also helps recovery. I really do swear by it. In fact, let's see what some customers have to say. These are definitely legitimate testimonials. I haven't done anything sneaky here, I swear, I promise. And if you think I'm lying to you, well, you'll just have to make up your mind yourself. Quote, I used to think Tesla was going bankrupt until I started taking AG1. From Richard Cranium III. My wife was about to leave me for losing our entire net worth shorting Tesla stock, but then I started taking AG1, went long Tesla, and now I can't keep her off my... Oh, it got cut off. I don't know. I'm not sure how that message finished there. From Dim Chanos. Sounds familiar. Before AG1, I thought Elon Musk was a pathological liar and a fraud. Athletic Greens AG1 saved me from myself. Thanks. Tim Seales, CNBS guy. And okay, interesting, yeah. So as you can see, these very legitimate testimonials prove that you should be taking Athletic Greens AG1 every day, unless you want to do something dumb like short Tesla stock near 2-year lows. In all seriousness though, guys, please give it a go. 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. Fill in nutritional gaps, look after your gut health, your ability to recover, energy, mood, you name it. 90-day money back guarantee, there's nothing to lose and plenty to gain. Use the link in the pinned comment or head to athleticgreens.com/SMR. And if you'd like to unlock almost 300 exclusive videos and counting fast, head over to Patreon. You can join with the card in the corner or the link in the pinned comment, and I'll see you over there. Love ya.